And that's why the Rich Dad Company was founded, because with the right financial education, this crash would be the best thing that ever happened to you. But if you're thinking like my poor dad, PhD, poor, helpless, and desperate, you'll probably be just like him.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because you have Uber is a complete stock market scam. You have WeWork, you have Peloton. Those are all your generation stocks, and they're complete shams. Mm-hmm. But they make a lot of money right now. So the reason I'm saying this is your greatest asset is this, your brain. And that's why we created this board game here, Cash Flow. So if you take this game and you actually play it and study with your friends and all that, you'll get smarter. So instead of getting crushed, you have a chance. And there's no guarantee of it, because let's say there's 100 people watching today, 2 of you will do something. Okay, so going back again 25 years, 50 years now, when I graduated from school, when I was 25 years old, all of my friends wanted high-paying jobs. So I get out of the Marine Corps, and what many of my classmates did, they went to fly for United Airlines. So they made a lot of money. For them, it was a lot of money. It was about $400,000 a year. I didn't take that route. Mm-hmm. Instead, I went to work for Xerox to learn how to sell. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to sell. So when I say that to most people, they say, well, I don't want to sell. So you're not going to learn that way. Then I had to learn how to public speak. Then I learned to write books and all this. So I get richer and richer and richer as the economy goes down. Mm-hmm. So all of you listening right now, this is your greatest asset. So I created this board game here, and you have a chance. The world of money, there's 3 types of income. So this is financial education. So if I was teaching a bunch of, let's say, high school sophomores at 15, I said there's 3 kinds of income. It's a very important word. Okay. And number 1, it's called earned income. Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you go to school and you get a job and you work for money. Earned income is you working for money. It's the highest taxed income. That's why that advice, go to school, get a job, and work hard. You're working for
it's outdated.
Earned income. Yay, yay. You pay a lot of tax. The second type of income is portfolio income. I should get portfolio income is also called capital gains. That's when you buy low, sell high. So that's portfolio, and I don't know the tax rate, but years ago it was about 20%, I forget now. It's changed. So most people, when they go to school, they get a job, they work for earned income, and they invest for the long term in the stock market, they're investing for portfolio income. Mm-hmm. And the third type of income is the income that myself and Kim and Kenny and all my advisors invest on your parents.
Passive income.
It's called passive. And the reason passive income is good is because no tax. It's wonderful stuff. So those are the 3 types of incomes. So this was in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You have income, expense, asset, liability. This is the difference. And a lot of people read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but they didn't get the message. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I said the rich don't work for money. Well, this is where most people are focusing on. This was Poor Dad. Most people watching right now want a paycheck. That was Poor Dad. They work for money. And then they try and reduce their expenses. That's poor people thinking. I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to try and save a little money. That's ridiculous. That's why you're poor. You've got to change that thought. And this here is Rich Dad. Rich Dad said the rich don't work for money. The rich work for assets, and assets are down here. So this is called a P&L, and this is called a balance sheet. Now again, it's the words. And from the Bible, I'm not really religious, but the word becomes flesh. You've got to know this word here. When I talk to my friends, we're talking about balance sheets. How many assets do you have offset via liabilities? And the average person, like my poor dad, a PhD, most employees, they think here. They think P&L, profit and loss. And the rich think in balance sheets. And when I talk to the average person, they have no idea what a balance sheet is. You know, they call their house an asset, which was number 2 in Rich Dad Poor Dad, when their house is really a liability. And so the reason people are poor is they have liability after liability after liability they call assets. Oh, my classmates are so happy.
Yeah.
They have a job and a 401k. And I don't know what to say to that. I said, are you that stupid? Are you that naive? Are you that much of an effing idiot? Don't you realize they're ripping you off? No, but I have a 401k. And the reason that's important in this book, Who Stole My Pension, which just came out, is because there's 2 kinds of pensions throughout the world, only 2. One is like a 401k, defined contribution, which Andy is an expert at. And the second is called defined benefit, which is industrial age pension plans. And my co-author is Edward Siddell. He's a former SEC attorney. And he got so sick and tired of watching the teachers, firefighters, and police officers and labor union guys ripping off the pensions. And the average guy doesn't know that. So they think, oh, I have a, so the old guys who have a defined benefit, like the firefighters and teachers, oh, I have a defined benefit pension plan. It's a guarantee I'm going to get a pension. But they're being robbed blind. And your generation is being robbed blind in a 401k. So we're not saying don't get a 401k. We don't give it financial advice. But you just have to know how stupid you are to think of that way. That's why I have this program. I'm the old guy. It was in 782. I started buying gold. And I have millions today. I just keep buying it because I don't, what happened in 71 is I stopped trusting the US dollar because it's fake money. When Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, it became fake. But the other side of it is I've always worked on my financial education. I don't need money. And we have a new book coming out this fall. It's called Infinite Returns, Money for Nothing, Gold, Silver, Bitcoin for Free. Because that's what's happening, guys. Money is for nothing today. You know, with ZIRP, zero interest rate policy, and they're printing trillions of it. Why the hell are you working for it? Why are you saving it? So the book, The Infinite Returns, watch for it. It's probably late October, early November. Infinite Returns, all of my advisors on it, Kim's on it. And we're talking about how we individually come up with infinite returns. So you'll never need money. It really is the strangest phenomenon. It's a very spiritual book. I get excited when I think about making money for nothing. You know that song by Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free? They both appeal to me. Anyway, so I'll give the old guys what I was taught about money. Money is, number 1, a unit of account. Okay, what that means, you can count it. Like I couldn't count gold nuggets because they're gold nuggets, but when they broke a gold into a Krugerrand, a US dollar, a US silver, what do you call them? Anyway, more, you could measure it. That was the biggest thing. So a gold nugget's not worth much, but when you break it down to a gold coin or a silver coin, it becomes more money. The other thing is a store of value. And that's the biggest thing that Bitcoin has because of the halving. You know, they're making it harder while the dollar is technically getting softer. And the other condition for money is exchangeability. Now, that's the limitation, in my opinion, just my opinion, is with Bitcoin is it's hard to exchange. I can't go to, the supermarket and say, I got some Bitcoin. They don't take it. But more and more people are, and I think I'm quite sure they'll solve that problem, where you'll be able to take a fraction of a Bitcoin and say, here's 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Just buy me a car with it. But that's coming. So the 3 things that make up money: unit of account or unit of measure, store of value, and it's exchangeable. So the reason I'm into gold, silver, and Bitcoin for all 3, but the most important thing is a store of value. When I was your age, I was in Vietnam and I was flying for the Marine Corps. When my rich dad sent me a letter saying, watch out, the world's going to change. And the world changed because President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard on August 15th, 1971. But back then in the 70s, being on an aircraft carrier, I didn't get that letter for like 6 months. That's how long it took to get to me. Now you guys go ding, ding, and you're there. I mean, the world is really no world at all. But he warned me that the world would change, and I didn't really understand it at the time. But that's when my curiosity about gold and money and all this really changed. So today, when I look at the corona crisis, but more the financial crisis, it's really, really horrifying because the financial crisis started back in 1971. And the reason I'm a rich man today is because, I knew something was wrong. I didn't know until 72. When I flew behind enemy lines to go buy some gold, and I didn't know what gold was. It was illegal for Americans to own gold in 1972. And I thought that was really strange. So my life brought me up to this moment. So I'm very happy to be talking to you because the corona crisis, while serious, the biggest crisis is the financial crisis. And your generation, the millennials, have been screwed. I mean, big time. Big time. I mean, if you understand how money is credit and debt. That's all it is. Credit, debt, and taxes. That's what money really is. Mm-hmm. But they don't teach you that in school. So today, the reason the world economy is crashing goes all the way back to 71. But what happened in 71, they could just make fake money, and they can keep printing fake money. And this is the US dollar. The US can keep printing fake money for a number of years yet. Mm-hmm. And the only way they could keep the economy expanding, they had to find people stupid enough to get into debt. So as you know, one of the most, I didn't have this as a kid, it's called a credit card. Now everybody has credit cards, but they never teach you how to use it. Yeah. Now, why did they have a credit card? It's because they needed more money. So they keep expanding the economy. They keep finding people stupid enough to just get into debt. So give them credit cards and all this and say, well, you give auto loans. But I think the most dastardly thing for your generation was in 2009 when President Obama went to the banks and said, look, we need to get the students more into debt under the guise of you need to get a good education. What is going on in the world right now has never happened in the history of the world. I mean, I knew our leaders were screwed up, but not this screwed up. I mean, how can you shut down the whole world economy? And it's the reason that's really good news is because both the Fed and the Treasury, they're supposed to be separate, but they're now scratching each other's back, which proves they were never separate at all. And most people, that doesn't make any sense to them. But about 1999, I wrote this book. It's called Rich Dad's Prophecy. And it says why the biggest stock market crash in history is still coming and how you can prepare yourself and profit from it. And the crash market, the market I was talking about was the dot-com market in 2000 of the Y2K crash. And since then, we had the 2008 crash. And I called it, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program in January of 2008. And I said Lehman Brothers was going to go down, and Wolf going, So if you don't believe me, go to Rich Dad, and you can see me on CNN with Wolf Blitzer with one of the agents of Wall Street. I won't mention her name, but anyway. I said, this book here said 1999, so I was calling it way out. 2016 would be the crash date. What I did not foresee was quantitative easing and ZERP, nor did I see the shutting down the whole damn world economy. So the crash is bigger than I thought. So in March of 2020 was the biggest crash in world history of the stock market, but nobody knows anything about it because everybody's quarantined at home thinking about coronavirus and social distancing and wearing face masks. So people are missing out on one of the biggest catastrophic cash heists in the history of the world. They don't even know what's happening. Now, the good news is, it's the good news and the bad news about money. I'm going to make a fortune. This is the best time if you're ready for it. So I want you guys who are sitting at home, licking your wounds and wondering when you're going to go back to work and so you can get your lattes and cappuccinos and pizzas. Just know you might be missing one of the biggest opportunities in the history of the world because our governments have really screwed up. As young people, you only got two choices at this point. You're going to take the easy road or you're going to take the hard road. Mm-hmm. And when I was in high school, my future was dim because I flunked out of high school at 15 and 17. And the reason is because I couldn't write. And today I've sold more books than most people. So I'm a writer. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't take the hard road. And the reason I couldn't write was because I was a surfer. Now I love surfing and I had dreams of someday becoming a professional surfer. And then it dawned on me that my friends were cool guys. They're good looking, they have great bodies, and they're all cool and drinking and smoking and having a good time. I didn't do any of that stuff. But they lack discipline. And that was the thing. I said, they have no discipline. They're cutting class or doing this, and where am I going to wind up if I follow them? So I kind of woke up and I realized I needed discipline. Now, discipline is not punishment because there is punishment. You see, if you're not disciplined, the world will punish you. But also, you will punish yourself. Mm-hmm. So I kind of realized that, and that's why I applied for military school. Nobody thought I could get in because my grades were D's and F's, but I had high SAT scores. And so I went to a military school in New York, and I have found discipline. And then I joined the Marine Corps for more discipline. And then I became a pilot in Vietnam for more discipline. So when I meet most people today, and I'm the same way, we all want the easy road. Give me the easy answer. So let me ask you this, if you invest with Warren Buffett, or if I had invested with Warren Buffett in 1970, I'd be a very rich man today. But would I have learned anything?